Hello, everybody. So I study history at the Australian National University. So my research project was looking at political responses to drought across Australian history. So rather than talk about politics, because that can get a bit dull, I thought I would use this opportunity to show you some beautiful Australian paintings. Now, the political responses to drought kind of come in three phases. And the short-term thing is we can build a dam and that'll solve the problem. But actually, it's much more about attitudes to the environment. So European colonisation in Australia began 1788, etc. And this painting was from 1834 in Hobart. At this time, Indigenous people were no longer in the land. This painting is actually an imagining of what it was like at the time. This settlement on the ridge is Hobart. The European imagining of the environment was that it was kind of this lush rural Arcadia, that it was beautiful, that it was going to be, a verdant kind of landscape that would provide them with lots and lots of, agricultural goods. And this was certainly how some things are in parts of Australia. Beautiful green places like this. Louis Bouvelot was a Swiss painter, and they naturally painted it in kind of the European classical kind of way of painting. But the reality was much different. The droughts, as they came through the 19th and 20th centuries, took them almost by surprise because they were expecting this kind of lush, green kind of country. But the reality was that millions and millions of sheep died, people died, and the human cost was absolutely enormous. This painting from 1896 spanned the drought from the late 1890s through to the beginning of the 20th century. And this one, as people who had been born in Australia came to realise, why are we expecting this as a surprise? Droughts are part of the Australian environment. And as you can see, there's a change in the paintings as well as the attitudes. This is a painting from 1904, and the colours change. There's no longer the green kind of classical landscapes, but kind of much more the reds and the oranges and the yellows. So you can see a couple of cows dashing through the trees. This is from 1945, and it kind of puts Australians in the landscape that's much more theirs, and they understand what it's like. And drought isn't just something that needs to be solved by political miracles, but something that's real, that has an effect, and political response needs to be aware that droughts are something that they have to deal with, and it's not something that'll just magically go away. This painting is quite confronting. It's at the Australian National Gallery, and it kind of is that point where they realised that the Australian environment wasn't just Europe on the other side of the world, but something that, was there to be dealt with. And I've got 5 seconds left, so come and see me if you have any questions.